seem a little counterintuitive. It takes place after the year that I followed these students. I followed the students between September of 2012 to June of 2013. And I was writing the book for a long time. Then in May of 2015, I got a call from Debbie Keith saying, hey, there's a reunion band, a Mr. Clark Big Band reunion band on Memorial Day. Why don't you come and watch and see? And so after I watched them play, I had my prologue. I had my section of the book that explains why to all of these children the big band means so much to them. So I'm going to read a little bit from that. It was the evening of Memorial Day, May 26, 2015, and the band room was filled with the raucous music made by former members of the 2010-2011 Big Band, the group which Mr. Clark said put Trottier on the map. This is the band that set the bar for the rest of the big bands to follow. They took the big band on their backs and met every challenge, Mr. Clark told the 60 assembled family members and friends in the hot and humid room of the first Trottier Big Band to snare an outstanding award at the University of New Hampshire Jazz Festival. I have missed them terribly. I love you guys. I love you dearly. These 27 teenagers, 9 of whom were on the cusp of college, were drawn back to their middle school band room to soak in this warm embrace set to music. The high schoolers were the catalysts behind organizing what they called the Mr. Clark reunion. Since they'd left Trottier Middle School, many confessed, they'd longed for the connection, the camaraderie, the joy of the big band. Nothing had been able to fill the space in their hearts that was once occupied by the experience of playing in this place.
Sorry, they're going
With
to pass
this man
out.
who was moving furniture.
They're going to pass out. My bosses are here. If you want to pass out, that's bad.
This is good, Jenny.
He's always fixing things. Everything okay, Mr.
Good,
Clark?
sorry.
All right. All right. Nothing had been able to fill the space in their hearts that was once occupied by the experience of playing in this place with this man. So bereft that Mr. Clark wouldn't be able to be their band director beyond middle school, a number of these teens gave up playing music. This reunion, this playing of 6 big band pieces whose sheet music some of the students still had in their possession, was the first time many of the teens had played jazz music in years. With only an hour of rehearsal beforehand, followed by a buffet smorgasbord pulled together by the parents, the big band graduates delivered a concert about which Mr. Clark later observed, "It was messy and raw, but God was it good." They just wanted to be with Mr. Clark, said Debbie Keefe, the mother of Brian, a junior. Brian and his Southborough band friends had been aching to reconnect with Mr. Clark, to play with him just one more time. These were the students I'd seen flock to the band room before big band performances with the express purpose of giving their old teacher an enthusiastic bear hug. The ones who formed the human tunnel after jazz night. They were the same people I witnessed embracing Mr. Clark before town parades as marchers gathered in downtown Southborough, including the boy who wept when I asked what playing for Mr. Clark in the band room meant to him. Their desire to revisit their middle school years, to be those awkward adolescents, was palpable. You could see a similar sentiment reflected in the eyes of their parents, which pooled in response to the bliss of their children's flushed faces as the students played groovin' hard like they just had rehearsal the day before. Their playing was explosive, jubilant. With just 4 trumpet players, they sounded powerful. The former band members responded to Mr. Clark's gestures sometimes before he even made them, like the entire saxophone section rising as one during the measure which showcased them in Groovin' Hard. It was as if they'd stowed away the knowledge they accumulated during their middle school years, put it in the dusty box, and reopened it in the band room. Mr. Clark wore a droll smile on his reddened face. His tone wasn't the tone of a teacher leading a bunch of 11 and 12-year-olds. It made me think of something that then 8th grade guitarist Jesse said when I interviewed him a few days before his Trottier career came to a close. It's almost effortless with him, That's what makes him such a great teacher. That's why everyone loves him. Okay. Now, just